What do you think what in our society causes more or creates more victims than anything else? Anybody got a suggestion?
Poverty.
Poverty? What else?
I think a breakup of the family.
Addiction.
Addiction? You're all right. But there's one thing that our system has done, and I believe it has created more inmates and almost destroyed a segment of our population. And this is to leave you with something to think of. It's welfare. Welfare. As we begin to look at people who get caught up in this system, I was at the Richmond City Jail about 6-7 months ago, talking with a man who's 28 years old. 28 years old, has 6 children by 6 different women. And when he gets out of jail, he has nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Of the 6 women he's fathered children with, all of them live in subsidized housing. He grew up in subsidized housing, knows nothing else, has never held gainful employment other than being a thug. Where did he learn that at? In the housing projects. His father was not there. He cannot go back to his mother's house because his mother lives in subsidized housing because of his record.
Yeah.
Has nowhere to go. And you begin to take it, and this man is a drug addict and a drunk. And you begin to take a man's dignity. If you're dealing with people out here, when a man loses his job, what happens?
Loses his identity.
He loses his identity. He begins. You want to see a man get depressed. I have a pastor friend of mine right now that's out of work for the first time in 50 years. He is in distress. He is in the pits of depression. People turn to drugs and alcohol when they get into these. We have segments of our society that's there. A great deal of my family is living in this and cannot break free of it. They have more children to get more subsidies. And the grandmother and somebody ends up raising these kids. There was a fishing village in Iceland, and when the space program started, they needed this deep water harbor for a tracking station. But there was a cannery there. There was a village that crime was virtually unheard of in this place. It was just an ideal little setting. But the government went in and took this Deepwater Harbor because they needed it for the military ships and moved the people down, because it was top secret, down the coast about 10 miles. But their livelihood was gone. Because their livelihood was gone, what did they start doing? Well, we're going to subsidize you. In less than a year, the moral fabric of that community fell apart. Alcoholism was rampant, even down to the point of incest within the family. We've taken a point and I see it on a regular basis, as you pointed out just a little bit ago, race and racism, and especially in our prisons. There are far more black men in prison than anywhere. There are more black men in prison than there are in college today. And you take a man's dignity away from him, and especially in the black community, a black man is not only unwelcome sometimes at home, he's unnecessary. Because if he comes home, what's going to happen to the wife's benefits? They'll what?
Cut off.
Cut off, and you probably see it on a regular basis. And some of us do. So we have created a system that does not promote the biblical family. And it has caused more victims. This young man I'm speaking to here is 28 years old. He's been a victim most of his life. His mother's a victim. The children he fathered out here, they're victims of a system that wants to do good, but sometimes wanting to do good is not enough. Holding people accountable